Hello, 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 how is everybody? This is John Mason. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and that is a time we pay our respects to all the women in our lives, our mothers, and our wives, and our girlfriends, and our sisters, and every other woman we come across. Happy Mother's Day, ladies. And if we want the best for the women in our lives, we must protect their reproductive rights. There are all these states going around that places the most onerous restrictions on abortions. Like you can only have an abortion after so many weeks before you even know, the woman even knows that there's a fetus inside of her. And you remembered Katie Britt, the senator from Arkansas, who had this very bad case of ham acting after Biden's State of the Union address. Is that the best the Republicans can do? Well, anyway, she has this bright idea of a database. She's proposing this bill that would establish a database for all women who are pregnant. Hello, hello, hello. John Mason, how is everybody? Hope you're all well. The Republicans are at it again with their so-called SAVE Act, which just passed the House and hopefully will die in the Senate. It's been one of those voter oppression bills. It will demand all sorts of identification and documentation which you don't have immediate access to will be needed for you to vote, such as birth certificates for women who marry and change their names, and passports. Very few people in America have a passport, and naturalization papers. It's all efforts to the latest in efforts to prevent people from voting, or rather people who they don't want to vote because they know if they voted they wouldn't have a job, they wouldn't be in office. Hence the is that why they call it the SAVE Act? Because they hope it'll save their asses from being not reelected. And a weird thing is, the Republicans once more expect us to sit back and take it. Just sit back and have our rights taken away, our livelihoods taken away. Feeling safe that the apparatus of the state, military, police, what have you, will knock down any complainers. And supposedly we're having these non-governmental institutions that comprise civil society, which is supposed to be a check on a government going too far. Like things as newspapers and universities. But so many of them have been knuckling under to Trump. Like law firms. He's also going after the Trump regime is going after law firms whose attorneys went after Trump in his when he's being sued for his bankruptcies and all. And of course, they're attacking the institutions of higher education, threatening to withhold federal funding from them if they continue with any DEI programs. DEI meaning diversity, equity, inclusion, to make sure that people in minority groups, traditional out groups, groups that have been traditionally neglected and repressed and oppressed, can have access to an education, which is, trust me, it's the cornerstone for social development and personal empowerment. And they, like I said, they think we're just gonna roll over and play dead for them, as I've repeated before. But we're not going to do any such thing. On April 5th, I took part in Philadelphia's Hands Off campaign, rally and demonstration, which is part of about over 1,000 such demonstrations throughout the country, from big cities like Philadelphia and New York and Chicago and LA to modest little towns. And I don't know if they're getting the message. I don't know if the Trump regime is getting the message that the people are rising up, they're wise to him, and they're standing up to him. But definitely people, officials and Republicans on the lower side of the rung, on the lower rung of the party, people like state legislators and Congress members, they're close to the grassroots, and they are definitely, hopefully they're definitely paying attention. But I can't count on that. We can't count on it. Trump and his crew, Trump is so fixated on, he is totally fixated on the idea that everybody loves him, everybody adores him. These same people who thinks are a bunch of marks for a con game and saps and fools to be fooled. It's an extension of when he called people in our military, working class people, from farms and small towns, and your urban neighborhoods. He called them suckers and losers, and by extension, we are also suckers and losers. But we the people are getting wise to him. And we are not going to give up. There's no reason to. Our lives are at stake. Our future's at stake. Our children's are at stake. And we can't cop out and be ashamed of ourselves in the future. So, but good news is, the good news continues. April 19th will be another series of rallies in this country. Another series of rallies throughout the country. Follow up on the hands-off rallies. I'm sure Philadelphia will have an event too. I'll keep you posted. And May 1st, May Day, the internationally recognized workers' holiday, will be on Thursday, May 1st at 4 p.m. There'll be a rally then on the north side of City Hall. I hope you'll show your face in the place. See, I along with my dear friend, the late Jim Moran of blessed memory, took part in events to publicize May Day as a workers' holiday. that has origins in the labor struggles in this country. And throughout the world, it is recognized as the workers' holiday. It's not some commie holiday with tanks and troops goose-stepping down Red Square. No, it is the workers' holiday. And we should recognize it as such while keeping Labor Day, the first Monday in September, which says we can't have both. In other words, let's keep our voices heard, our opinions known, and ourselves voting. Make sure you get out and vote. In Pennsylvania, it's going to be, let me double check here. Just double checking. November 20th, no, May 20th is primary election day in Pennsylvania. I hope you show up where you are in your jurisdiction and get out and vote. Okay, that's it for now. I know I have a bit of a stutter. I know sometimes words don't get out the right way, but I do get my word out. I'm going to keep putting my word out, and I hope you'll do the same. Now, advertisements. All this work I do, this podcast, my blog, my YouTube channel, my poetry, my fiction, they do constitute work. And I need to be paid for all this work. To be compensated for paying for these platforms that I put my word out in. So, please get on my website, johnomason.com, and click either the PayPal button or the Buy Me a Coffee button and see what you can give. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, my novel, Soldier of the Cross, is available on Amazon.com. It's the story of David Lucas, who as a young man in the early 60s is a drunk and a horde chaser and a school bully. He gets in trouble in the army. He comes out of the army a born-again Christian, a fanatical, manly man for Jesus, who just wants to serve Jesus, but the way he goes about it leads him into trouble. Do please pick it up. Soldier of the Cross on Amazon.com. And also, Hemperific is a lovely little CBD product store located on Snyder Avenue near 15th Street in South Philadelphia. There you'll find some of the finest cannabis-infused products. Gummies and candies and lip balm and flower and teas and hand sanitizer and dog treats. Dog treats, yeah. Look them up, please. HemperificLLC.com. And also my beloved career and business coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle is excellent in helping you develop your professional career or small business. Let you know what you're doing right, where you need work, and help you network with other up-and-coming entrepreneurs and professionals. Look her up, please. GrowWithSnow.com. Okay? Alrighty then. Like I said, let's never give up. Trump is trying to be one of those authoritarian strongmen that he idolizes, like Putin and Orban, Erdogan, those guys. He's been trying to do that, but he bends with enough pressure. And with enough, see, a real authoritarian dictator wouldn't bend so easily under pressure. So let's keep it up and get out there and vote. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Shabbat shalom. Bye.